Hey everybody, my name is Mike the Heal Your Gut Guy, and I want to show you how to fix your Crohn's disease. These are the five bad foods that people tell you you should avoid if you have Crohn's. So the first one is spicy foods, hot foods. Now we're all going to have a different tolerance to spicy foods depending on our culture and our upbringing. But in general, when the digestive system is inflamed, inflammation is the body's response to injury. So it's injury and it's trying to heal. Inflammation is healing. I know most of us are trying to suppress inflammation, but the actual thing we want to do is avoid injury. And probably one of the foods that can cause the most injury in the body are spicy foods. Some of these spices you could put in your eyes and you will go blind. So spicy foods, avoid spicy foods until you are feeling better, until your symptoms come down. And I'm going to show you how to, I have a webinar down below where I show you how after following years of diets and avoiding the foods that you actually see on this thing here right here, I'm going to show you how I gained 30 pounds in 3 months. And I went from going in the bathroom like 10, 20 times a day to only going to the bathroom, 1 to 3 times a day like a normal person. It's very easy to do once you understand the root cause. So the next food is dairy. Dairy. Now, that's usually the first food people are going to tell you to avoid when you go on, when you start going on diets for your Crohn's disease. But 100 years ago, doctors used to actually use something called the milk cure, the raw milk diet, to fix Crohn's disease and other digestive issues. And so what they would do is they would put someone in a sanatorium, they would just rest for about a month or two, and they would drink about 1 gallon to 1.5 gallons of milk every single day, and the milk had to be raw. Now, I've seen people do this in modern times and they don't get better. Some depending on the person, they see an improvement in symptoms, but Crohn's disease is caused by a certain type of stress in your life, not energy and nutrients. Dairy is a very easy to digest food, whether it is raw or it is pasteurized, whether it's from a cow or from a goat or from a sheep or from a camel, wherever, a water buffalo, wherever you're getting it. Dairy is one of the best foods that you can eat. Cheese is a very protein-dense food. Your body is going through tons of protein. So when you are stressed out, your gut is developing extra gut cells to help you digest this hard to digest thing in your life. And when it gets resolved, the body gets rid of these extra gut cells, and that is when you get these symptoms. And if you've had these symptoms for a very long time, this type of stress in your life is on and off, has been haunting you your whole life. So dairy, it's a great food. Dairy is very good for you. I recommend that you get organic dairy, but also getting normal dairy is okay as well. Most of you have had dairy your whole entire life, and you don't have digestive issues. A stressful event caused dairy, and what a lot of people do is they'll get a new job or something good will happen, and then they'll go celebrate with ice cream or gelato. And that celebration is the conflict resolution where the symptoms start and they blame it on dairy. Well, they're like, I had an ice cream and I read an article too about how the easiest to digest food in the world is not good for me. Absolutely ridiculous. So dairy is good for you. The next one is gluten. Gluten is referred to as the staff of life in the Bible. It's also the body of Christ. If you go to church, people are like, oh, I'm gluten intolerant. I can't accept the body of Christ. The other day I was in the store and I saw, the matzah bread, and I saw, regular matzah and gluten-free matzah. So, unless the food is like laced with rat poison, which, there might be glyphosate in this gluten, but why is everybody else eating these foods and they don't have symptoms? Why did you eat this food your whole entire life and you're just getting symptoms now? Now, there's some people who react violently to gluten. You need to figure out why your body thinks gluten is so dangerous. When we are in a stressful event, our critical faculty of the brain shuts down. I've been in a war zone. I've seen my friend's house, my neighbor's house blown. I've had my house blown to smithereens. And when that happens and you're in this extreme fight or flight, I mean, you're stupid, you're dumbfounded. And anything that gets said to you during that time can get hard programmed into your brain and become a very strong belief. So if, let's say you go to the bathroom one day and there's blood all over the toilet, you're freaking out, you go on YouTube, you go on Google, and someone tells you gluten is the devil, even though it's the body of Christ. Your critical faculty is so shot, it's going to believe this and hard program this in, and now all of a sudden, you're allergic to, food you've been eating your whole life. So that's how these food intolerances develop. Gluten, and it's just so mainstream nowadays. So that's like the first thing you're told. Oh, you're gluten intolerant. You must be gluten intolerant. Oh, so that's what's happening. And your brain's gonna want to avoid this. They're like, oh, I wasn't traumatized. Oh, I was never traumatized. The brain's always it's always trying to conserve energy, and it's a lot of energy to dig up these old traumatic memories and see what things are lurking in the background that remind us of these traumatic events. The next food that we are told we want to stay away from, depending on what school you come from, the vegan and vegetarian community tells you to stay away from meat, which is very dangerous. I've seen people go on vegan and vegetarian diets and lose like 30, 40, 50 pounds in a matter of a month. When you are going through the stressful period in your life, your body is developing extra gut cells, which cost protein, and then it's removing extra gut cells, which cost protein, and then that process goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, usually every day, multiple times a day, and it's just burning through protein, and meat is the best source of protein, so you need meat. I mean, trying to heal without meat in your diet is like in hard mode. It's like the hard mode of healing. Your body's just so nutrient deficient, or protein deficient. So meat, any type of meat, red meat, white meat, whatever you want, fish, eat it. It is good for you. Organic, conventional, I suggest you eat organic, but anything goes. The next thing people, oh, sugar is so bad for you. Crohn's disease is a very energy intense process. Sugar is a very easy to absorb source of energy. There's a reason why all of our cultures include, some sort of sugar in our meals, or at least at the end of the meal, to bring our energy levels back up, because digestion, not only is digestion an energy intense process, but also the Crohn's part is an energy intense process. So our body needs extra energy. Notice how you feel. You will feel differently when you have a meal without sugar versus when you have a meal with sugar. I mean, there's times where I'll eat something, I'm like, man, I feel really tired. And then I have like a soda, or I have like a fruit drink or something like that. And it's like, whoa, oh my God, I can think again. Thinking costs energy. Thinking costs protein. And the trauma, you can look this up, it's in neuroscience. When trauma happens, certain parts of the brain get rewired. You can see Crohn's in someone's brain CT scan. Their amygdala is lighting up. There's a ring in a very specific location every single time with Crohn's disease sufferers in the brainstem, every single time. So there's physical changes happening in the brain with people with Crohn's. And so the last but not least food that you should actually avoid this time, so don't avoid, sugar is great. There's more organic sources of sugar like honey and maple syrup and stuff, but anything goes. Some energy is better than no energy. So, but the next bonus food that people should actually avoid, especially when they're having intense symptoms, and people promote this food, oh, it's the best food, oh, they'll heal you, blah, 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 are probiotics. Probiotics will make your symptoms more intense because the bacteria and fungi are removing your extra gut cells. And so taking probiotics is adding more bacteria and fungi to help remove the extra gut cells. It's going to hurt more. So things like kefir. Kefir is like, oh, kefir healed me. No, it didn't. Your brain healed you. You just thought it was kefir. Raw milk is good. Raw milk is a very low probiotic. Yogurt is a very high probiotic, so I would avoid that. There's pickles and kimchi, which is spicy and has probiotics. I mean, that's like the trifecta right there, killing two birds with one stone. And then what's the other one? Sauerkraut. People love sauerkraut. Yuck. I don't like sauerkraut. So these foods, if you know, especially if you're having intense symptoms, I would take probiotics and probiotic supplements and probiotic foods after your stools form up again and you're starting to feel a little bit healthier. So guys, go down below and watch my webinar. I'm going to show you everything that I did to get better. It comes with a PDF cheat sheet. I mean, I want you to experience life again. Where do you want to travel? Do you want to go to Europe? Do you want to go to Asia or Japan? It is very hard to travel when you're stuck on a boring diet and you're not sure what you can or can eat. You know, you can't have sugar. You gotta walk when you're traveling. Like your brain is firing. It's like, where are we? Oh my God, where are we? Oh, this doesn't look familiar. Oh man, you're making me use extra protein. You're making me use extra energy. And a lot of it's going towards your gut. So we need to shut Crohn's off in the brain so that you can do normal things in life like a normal person, like go out on a date, pursue your career. I want to show you how to get rid of these things. And it's really funny, you know, how some of these things are connected. So I used to get diarrhea from a latte. Okay, and I could have coffee, I could have milk, and didn't have diarrhea. I knew all foods were safe, and I knew it was caused by a certain type of stress in my life. And I'm like, man, why do I get diarrhea every time I eat a latte? And then one day I realized that I was on the rocks with this one girl, and then one day pictures on Facebook showed up, and she was drinking lattes with another guy. And we got into a big fight, and we ended up breaking up. So every time my brain saw lattes, it thought, oh, we're about to get into a fight. Even though when I drank a latte, she didn't even cross my mind. So this is how our brain works. We have to understand what I'm going to teach you in this webinar is like how our brain works, what is actually going on in our gut, and the quickest way to remove the trauma from our brain so that our brain's not putting our gut into overdrive anymore. That's how you get better. Not by being afraid of the easiest to digest food on the planet. Not by being afraid of the body of Christ. Not being afraid of the most protein-dense food or the energy-dense food. Guys, you can get better. It starts in the brain. It has to start in the brain, and I show you everything that I did to get better for free in my webinar. Go click that webinar. Okay, guys? It will save you years of your life, save you thousands of dollars. Go do it. Go do it. I know what it's like. I've tried everything. Everything that you are about to try or thinking about trying, I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and I've been helping people professionally for over 5. Go do it now. All right, guys. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I'll get to it as fast as possible. Or I'll make a video about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.